All right, let's jump right in. Today we are diving into one of the most, and I mean most, powerful features in Go High Level, workflows. We're going to break down exactly how you can use this thing to automate the really critical parts of your business, which will save you a ton of time and make your follow-up game just flawless.
I mean, seriously, just think about that for a second. What if your new leads were getting engaged, your appointments were getting confirmed, and your clients were getting onboarded, all while you were off focusing on the big picture stuff? That's the dream, right? Well, that's the promise of automation. And believe me, it is way more achievable than you probably think.
Okay, does this sound familiar? You feel like you're constantly juggling follow-up emails, sending out reminder texts, manually sorting every new lead. If that's you, you are definitely not alone. But this manual grind, it isn't just slow. It means real, actual opportunities are slipping right through the cracks, and honestly, this is the kind of stuff that really stops a business from growing. So, check out this real-world example from a user. This is such a classic problem, right? You get a new lead and everything just stops. You have to manually figure out, okay, is this person a good fit? Should I send them to sales or should they just go into a long-term nurture sequence? Now, imagine doing that for every single lead that comes in. It's a massive, massive time sink, isn't it? And this is exactly where Go High Level's workflows come into play. You can think of it like your own personal digital command center. It's designed to do one thing: take over all those repetitive rule-based tasks and just execute them perfectly every single time without you lifting a finger. So, what even is a workflow? Well, at its core, it's really just a digital assembly line that you get to build. It all starts with a specific event, and we call that a trigger. And that trigger then sets off this whole predefined chain of actions. And the best part? It all happens in the background, totally automatically. And you know what? That's really the core concept you need to get. It's super simple. Cause and effect. When this happens, that's your trigger, then do this, and that's your action. Seriously, every single powerful automation you'll ever build, no matter how complex, is based on this one fundamental idea. And the triggers? Oh man, they can be almost anything that happens in your business. Someone fills out a form on your website, that's a trigger. They book a call, trigger. Pay an invoice, yep, another trigger. You could even just add a tag to their contact and boom, literally any of those things can be the starting gun that kicks off an entire automated sequence.
Okay, so how do you actually build one? It's probably simpler than you think. It really just breaks down into four main steps. First up, you pick your trigger. Let's say a form gets submitted. Step 2, you add your first action. Maybe send a quick welcome text message. Then you can add a wait step, pause for an hour or so. And then finally, step 4. This is where you introduce the brains of the whole operation, the if-then branch.
And listen, this if-then step, this is where the real magic happens. This is the part where your automation stops being just a simple straight line and it starts making intelligent decisions all on its own, based on the data you have about your lead. Okay, now let's connect the dots. Remember that problem from the user earlier? This is how you solve it. Look at this. The trigger is the same for everyone. They submitted a form. But right here, the workflow asks a question. Does this lead meet our criteria? If the answer is yes, boom, they're a hot lead. They get an instant text with a booking link, we slap a hot lead tag on them, and a task is created for the sales team. But if the answer is no, they go down a totally different path. They get a nurture email, they're added to the newsletter, and that's it for now. This is a perfect example of creating a personalized journey automatically. And that's the end game, right? You're delivering a perfectly tailored experience to every single person who contacts you. They feel understood, and your sales team, they're only spending time with the most qualified prospects. You're not just automating, you're scaling personalization. Okay, but let's be real for a second. As one user said, these things can be, well, scary. They can feel overwhelming. And you know what? They're not wrong. There's so much flexibility, which is what makes it so powerful, but it can also feel like you're just staring at a big, blank, intimidating canvas. If you've ever felt that, I'm here to tell you that is a completely normal feeling. So, this really sums up the trade-off, doesn't it? On one hand, the pros are just incredible. I mean, GHL workflows can replace a whole bunch of other software tools and automate your entire process. But on the other hand, the cons are real. People talk about the steep learning curve and just how much time it can take to get everything set up right. It's that classic battle, power versus complexity. So how do you get past that complexity? Honestly, this is the best piece of advice I've seen from an experienced user. And it's simple. Start small. Don't try to build your entire business automation in one afternoon.
Just build one tiny, simple workflow. Like have a form submission trigger one single thank you email. That's it. Master that one little thing, see how it works, really understand the moving parts, and then you can start building from there.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. After seeing all of this, what is that one small, repetitive task in your business right now that is just eating up your time? Go on, think of one. Because whatever just popped into your head, yeah, that one. That is your perfect first step to putting your business on autopilot.